Right, hello guys. Today I'm going to be doing a few exercises with you. Going to try and give you a little bit of tips and tricks, as well as some common issues that we can run into when performing these exercises. I'm trying to let you guys know what those are, so that hopefully you won't make the same mistakes as I have, and that you'll complete these exercises with full range of motion and working all your muscles and working them to the best of their ability. So one example to start off, we'll start off with like a deadlift. So I don't have a barbell here at home, but I've got my trusty dusty broomstick. Same thing basically. So we're just gonna imagine this is the bar and you've got your weights here on the end. For the deadlift, you're gonna have the bar, it's gonna be laying all the way flat on the ground. And you're gonna wanna bend all the way over, keeping your back semi-straight like this, bending your knees for about 45-degree angle, picking up the bar on the ground. And the main trick here is making sure that we don't straighten our legs the whole time, like when we come up with the bar. So this is how you should normally do it. You'll have the bar, legs bent over. This would be your normal deadlift. One of the main mistakes that I want to make sure you guys don't make is to keep your legs straight the whole time. So if your legs are straight the whole time, it would look something like this, and it would just be damaging to the back of your knees and your lower back, and it would just be too much stress. You'd be lifting with your back when you're supposed to be lifting with your legs. So once again, keep your legs bent and straighten them out with your hips as you come up, just like that. Okay. For the second exercise, we're going to do the split squat. So I have my trusty dusty dumbbells here, water bottles, and with the split squat, you'll be going like this. You'll have your dumbbells and you'll be going down with one leg, and then back up, and then down with the other leg, and back up, and then down with the other leg, and back up. Same thing. Repeat it multiple times. And the one thing I want to make sure you guys understand with this is balance. So for example, it's a lot. You want to make sure that you're using the appropriate weights. If you're using too much weight in your dumbbells, then you're not going to be able to go either all the way down. You might get like a half rep and not be able to go all the way down, or you might go down too far with too heavy a weight and then have to give it up. So make sure you have the right weight with this exercise, and just try and keep your balance as good as possible. That's what will help strengthen your legs and your core and everything. Okay. All right. And also we'll do a back squat as well. So I'll go ahead and show you how a couple of these should be done with my trusty dusty broomstick. So you want to make sure for placement, you want to make sure that you place it right on your shoulders back here. You don't want to place it up here on your neck. That would hurt a lot and not be good for your neck at all. So place it back here on your shoulders, back here, when you're up like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of those, just how those would look like, done correctly. So even just have this weight still on your back, just like this, on your shoulders, not on your neck. There you go. And some common mistakes for those. Make sure that your heels don't come off the floor. That when you're doing the squat, that your whole foot stays flat completely on the floor. You're not lifting up your heel and pushing up, because you'll just be working different muscles and you won't be as balanced, and it'll just help you give you a stronger, better squat. And also make sure your knees don't move inwards. So specifically, we'll make sure that the legs don't pop up like this on your tiptoes. You want to make sure you stay flat on the ground, keep your heels on the ground, as well as making sure that when you squat all the way down, that your knees don't like buckle inward as you go, because that would not be good. And too heavy of weight would be damaging to your legs. Make sure you keep your legs a perfectly normal average width. Let's see. Also the front squat. Okay, yep, as well. With this, pretty self-explanatory as well. With the squat, same thing. You want to make sure that you keep it off of your neck, of course, and keep it more on your chest and shoulder area. So it would be the same thing as bending around with your like this. You just want to make sure that it stays once again off your neck and more so on your chest and shoulders. So a few of those would be something like this, keeping your elbows up and bent. And then so a few things with those for the front squat. Make sure you stay vertical with that. Stay straight up and down, because if you lean forward at all or get a little too far back, you'll just get unbalanced and you'll end up hurting yourself, honestly, is what will happen. And keep your elbows up. Even if it means you have to go wider out, keep your elbows more up for stability. Also with the pull down, you see it on a bench with your pull down bar with your set weight. You want to make sure that you grab it, you pull back, and that you squeeze in the back. Squeeze the back muscles as you come back right here at your upper, your shoulders right here, shoulder blades. Try and make them touch. It's exactly what you're gonna want with a pull down. Make sure you bring the weight all the way down. Don't leave it halfway. Don't do, your little half rep. You're gonna blow out your biceps, and you're not gonna end up hitting any of your back when you do that. As well as allowing your shoulders to rotate, like I said, to pinch there at the bottom, to pinch or rotate down like this at the bottom. We also have a pull up, which is a little hard for me to demonstrate, but pull up, when you do a pull up, make sure you use the full range of motion. So like some people feel like they have to stay straight when they're doing a pull up, when they're pulling up on the bar, but cross your legs and kind of wiggle your body a little bit, get some oomph going so you can get all the way up there and use your whole back. We'd rather you do a full rep and use all of your muscles rather than a half rep and just some of them. Yeah, that's about it for the pull-up. For an inverted row, you'd be doing kind of the same thing as a pull-down. Just make sure that you, that's hard to demonstrate as well. You'd be back like this with one of the bars set like this. You would pull up towards it. Same thing. Make sure you pinch your back muscls at the top instead of just using full just bicep. You want to make sure you target your back. For bent over rows, you can use these either with, you can use dumbbells for these, or you could use a barbell. For example, for a bent over row, you want to make sure not to round your back, so don't be like this and pulling. You want to keep your butt out, knees bent, same type of squeezing in the back. You get up to here, keeping your elbows in. Don't flare your elbows out. We're gonna be working weird muscles like a turtle, I guess. You want to keep making sure that you're pulling in. Yeah, and don't round your back, because that'll screw up your back. You'll hate that. That'll hurt real bad. Also, there's barbell overhead press. So overhead press, working a little bit more shoulders focused. Two things for that: make sure not to bend your knees like back when I'm talking about when I'm talking about the bent over row. I apologize. Make sure not to bend your knees back. Don't keep them like this. You want to keep your knees, I talked about that. Yep. So for barbell overhead press, don't press in front of your body. Make sure that you use the full range of motion to bring it down all the way to hit your deltoids. So you don't want to hold your, when you're doing overhead press and you're going, you know, all the way up. You want to make sure that you're going all the way over and over your head. If you guys can see that, all the way over your head instead of just in front of your body like this. You don't want to just be pushing in front of your body. You want to go all the way over your head. That'll help with stability and using the full range of motion. You know, if you feel like you can't come all the way back down to your chest, like you have to just go right here, you want to make sure that you're using a light enough weight to go all the way down and hit your deltoids down here, and you can go all the way up and all the way back down. And bench press. So there's 1,000,001 different ways that bench presses could go wrong. It's probably one of the most common exercises that we all know. I'm just gonna hit on 2 things today for bench press. One is don't flare out your elbows when you're laying down. When you're laying down and you're benching, don't flare out your elbows sideways like this. You want to keep them at an angle, keep them going down and in, kind of at this angle instead of whoosh, whoosh, like that. Because if you're going like that, you know, you're just not engaging your full chest. You're just engaging like either your upper chest, and you want to make sure that you're engaging all of it, being able to lift the most weight and work your whole pectoral muscle. You know, so a few examples of those, you know, would be something pretty classic, like I'm sure you guys have seen. So keeping your elbows in. It's hard to do this on the ground, but go back and as you go down. You also want to make sure when you're benching, do not arch your back. If you want to increase your bench and engage your chest more, you arch your back while you're on there instead of just being flat straight out. You want to arch your back instead of being flat. It's almost so weird being flat straight out. I almost can't imagine it. I almost just do this naturally now, but you'll keep your back arched, engage your whole chest while you're benching, as well as keeping your feet flat on the ground, which will once again give you more stability, help you lift heavier weight, and be more successful in your bench press. Thanks guys for listening, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments.